If you want to have insane mechanics just like this, then you've come to the right place. I am one of the top ranked players in NA, and today I'm going to show all of you the fastest way to improve your mechanics and even show you how to transfer those skills into ranked. So if you guys do enjoy, make sure you are subscribed, but now onto the video. Now, first things first, if you want to improve your mechanics way faster than other players around you, you need to understand what you're bad at. Because if you're just mindlessly training your mechanics, sure, you're going to get better and improve. But the real way to improve your personal mechanics is by practicing what you're bad at. For example, let's say I'm a decent player, but I struggle with making good peaks and not taking damage. Okay, then all I'm going to do is spend 20-30 minutes just practicing and making good peaks on bots, so that I can actually improve that part of my game. And if I were to recommend a map, I would use Mechanics V4 by Raider, because it has piece control drills that have bots that shoot at you if you make a bad peek. So you'll actually know when you're making a good edit versus a bad one. But there's a big issue with most of you watching this video that's holding you back, and that's not challenging yourself and fighting against good players. Because some players will hop onto a 1v1 map and then 10-0 a player half their skill. If you're doing this, you're significantly slowing down your speed of improvement, because you're not learning anything and you're not challenging yourself. How do you expect to get yourself better at the game if you're not actually challenging yourself? So instead, queue into a 1v1 map until you find a good player or even someone that's better than you. That way you're forced to give 100% every time you fight, and when you die, don't get mad and leave like most players do. If you die, just reset and think of what you did wrong and then try again. Now, if you're still struggling to improve your mechanics, then another way you can transfer your skills into ranked is by playing realistic 1v1s or maybe even forever zone wars. Because these maps add a realistic aspect to a fight, because you're on limited mats and meds, so you have to use them accordingly to win a fight, instead of in a normal 1v1 map where you have infinite mats. Now, having all these skills in creative is great, but how do you transfer those skills you've learned into ranked or even a tournament? Well, there's a few ways to do it. The first way is lag. A lot of people are insane in creative because they're on 0 ping and no delay, but then when they get in ranked, they have 20 to 30 and they struggle to compete. Now, if that's you, the simple answer for you is to practice on high ping or maps with more delay, because when you warm up on creative on low ping and then you have to play high ping in ranked, you won't be adjusted to delay. And this will lower your confidence and your overall skills because you feel like you're playing a completely different game. So instead, what you're going to do is practice on high ping or maybe even a map with more delay, so that when you get in game, it doesn't feel like you're on 1000 ping. But if you're still struggling with ping and don't seem to know why, then maybe today's sponsor, Exit Lag, can help you. Exit Lag is a complete game changer. It optimizes your connection and routes your traffic through the best possible servers to make you stay smooth during those intense endgames. They also support a bunch of games like Fortnite, Valorant, and more. And it's super easy to set up. You can go into the link in the description and sign up, and then download Exit Lag for a 3-day free trial. Once that's done, head over to connections and you can fully optimize your Fortnite. To do this, click the optimize game and then search Fortnite, and then you can either use the recommended settings or advanced settings, and then all you have to do is hit apply routes, and then you can launch your game. And as you can see from the background gameplay in a normal BR match, the ping on Exit Lag is significantly better than using a normal connection. Plus, Exit Lag has affordable plans to keep you connected. You can either scan the QR code on screen, or you can go into the link in the description and you will receive a coupon that will give you a 50% discount on the annual plan. So you would get an entire year of Exit Lag for half the price. So if you want to boost your gameplay and finally leave lag behind, go check out the link in the description and use my affiliate link for a discounted price. But now back to the video. Moving on now, let's talk about the biggest struggle that a lot of players have, and that is confidence. Now, in my opinion, confidence is the most important factor to transfer your creative skills into ranked. For some people, I can understand that playing ranked or maybe even a cash cup can be nerve-wracking, but my advice to you is to visualize yourself in the 1v1 map that you just played or the Zone Wars map that you just played. Imagine yourself in the winning situation that you did and remember what you did to win those fights. Another great way that you can reduce the nerves is by having a solid plan for your game. So like having a drop spot, a loot route, a preferred loadout. Once you're set up, then you have your map knowledge and you plan your rotations out. If you don't have a plan, you're going to be forced to make decisions on the fly, which could get you killed. So always have a plan before you jump into ranked or a cash cup. Now, all of the tips I've given you in this video are great and are going to improve your mechanics. But if you're not giving 100% every single time you're trying to train, you're not going to get better. Let me explain. Imagine a boxer trying to train for a fight. If the boxer wants to be ready for the fight day, he's going to train 100% every single day, so that when the time of the fight comes around, he's ready. The same goes for Fortnite. Imagine I'm wanting to play a tournament. I'm going to train and warm up at 100%, so that when the tournament comes around in an hour or so, I'm ready for that tournament. So make sure no matter what you're doing or what you're training, you always go 100%. Now the final way that your mechanics are going to improve way faster than any other player around you is by being efficient with your time. Now we've covered the routine obviously, but the real trick to actually improving your mechanics is knowing when to stop playing the game. A lot of players think, oh, if I grind rank for 8 hours, I'm going to become really good at the game, which is true. You're going to get a little bit better at the game. But if you spend your time effectively doing the drills that are going to help you personally improve, you're going to see way more growth than you normally playing ranked. The reason pros are pros is because they've perfected every single flaw in their game so that they're a perfect version of a player. So make sure to do things like this to improve your mechanics. Now that we have a good idea of how to improve our mechanics, we need to have a good routine so that we can be as efficient as possible. Now the best routine to train your mechanics should look something like this: 10 to 15 minutes of free builds and then piece control drills, and then into realistic 1v1s or Martaz box fights for around 15 to 20 minutes, and then you should be trying to transfer those skills into ranked. Now a lot of people watching this video may say I have really good mechanics, but I struggle with game sense and awareness and I die in ranked because I'm not making smart plays. If that's you, let me break down a simple Unreal ranked kill to show all of you how you can have good awareness in your fights. The first fight we're going to go over is right here. As you can see, I am on low ground and the player is above me and he wants to jump into my box. Now when this player jumps onto my box, all I'm going to do is simply make a wall reset to bait the player out to see if he'll go and shoot the wall. Then when he steals the wall, I'm going to flip up the cone in front of me, edit out my left tile, and then hit a side jump to give myself high ground on the player while placing a cone in front of me. This is just to block the player from then being able to see me. I can then edit on the player and I try and go for a shot, but as you can see, he's not there. So I'm then just going to reset and look for a different angle. I then see the player running up, so I'm just going to spray him a little bit and then he's going to move to his right. So I'm going to shoot him and then I'm going to crack him. When I crack him, I place a floor in front of me, but I notice the floor and the wall below me are mine. So instead of going around like a normal player would, I'm going to drop down and edit through this box. And as you can see, I catch the player with his back turned to me, and then I can just pump him and finish off that kill really quickly. Now all of these tips are great for improving your mechanics, but if you don't have optimal binds, you're going to struggle to improve fast. So really quickly, let's go over some simple settings that will help you improve your mechanics, as well as some secret settings to give you no input delay. Now first off, let's go over the binds. Now my binds are very optimal. You can use mine if you want, try them out, or try a single bind out. I use C to edit, and I use a lot of other binds that are very optimal. So if you want to try mine out, you can pause the video and then look at them and then try them. Moving on now, let's talk about some settings that are going to boost your FPS as well as give you zero input delay. Now first off, I want you to come to your game settings and make sure these two settings are turned off right here: reset building choice and disable pre-edit option. Having both these settings on adds delay to your builds and your edits. If you've ever wondered why you have an editing bug where it feels like you're confirming an edit but it doesn't work, this is why. You need to turn both these off and that problem will be fixed. Also, really quickly, I will mention edit on release. A lot of players think it's kind of controversial. You should use it. You shouldn't use it. I played normal edits for 7 years. I switched 2 weeks ago and I qualified to a cash cup and I'm one of the top ranked players now. So I'd say it's kind of worth it. Now let's talk about some FPS boost settings. First off, turn off NVIDIA highlights. This is just going to add more delay. Then you're going to scroll down here and you're going to make sure to turn all replays off. I have this on, but that's for content for you guys so I can record. Always have this off though. Moving down now, you want to turn both of these settings off and sleep mode. Never have any of these on. This is going to make your PC run slower and it's not going to be able to use all the energy of your PC, and that will in turn make you have less FPS. And really quickly, I think I should mention that you should have all of these graphics qualities down on low. You can have view distance on high if you want to see guns from farther away, but I personally turned it off because it's just not worth the FPS. Now that I've mentioned all those little settings, the best way that you're going to boost your FPS is by using a stretch res, especially if you're on a low-end PC. Now there's a bunch of stretch res that you can use. Here's my personal 3 favorites on screen right now, so if you want to, try them out. Now all of these tips by themselves alone are great, but the real way to improve your mechanics is by combining all of the tips I've given you in this video together into one ranked game or maybe even a competitive match. That way you have zero flaws when you're playing. But that is the end of this video, so if you guys did enjoy, make sure you are subscribed. And if you want to see how to become a god at fighting, go check this video out. But with that, I'm out. Peace.